can video this. Welcome to Monday Night Live. This is obviously take two. We are going to go through some awesome education tonight. Hopefully you find it awesome and get some great top tips. We are going to be talking about developing some skills, some emotional growth, but also I'm going to be sharing some top tips with all of you. Just things that you can implement, simple things that you can put in place to support you to take the next step in your business, whatever that might be, whether you're brand new, whether you've just started in the business in the last 24 hours, which is fantastic if you have, or whether you've been in our business for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. What can you do in order for you to take that next step, develop skills, but also grow emotionally in this business? If you haven't done it already, I really want to encourage you to grab a notepad, grab a pen, take some notes. Obviously, this will be available to you to watch down the track and replay, go through, as many times as you need to. But I really want to encourage you to take notes. It is actually statistically shown that you will actually absorb so much more information if you take notes as we go. And sometimes it might just be 3 or 4 or 5 key words that you capture that you really grab hold of, that you go, yes, that was great. You might not grab the whole thing. I have a lot to go through. I was going through some notes today and I think I've ended up with 6 pages of notes that are actually typed out. So there's a lot to get through and I really don't want to keep you for hours and hours and hours tonight. I really want to get through this quickly. So I know that I will talk fast. There is a lot to go over. But as I said, you can watch this multiple times, but really take notes as we go through. And obviously, I'm available to you. I'm not available 24/7. I don't work this business 24/7, but I am available to you to answer any questions that you have, to support you, to guide you, to mentor you. And I'm only ever a phone call away. You can flick me a message or you can email me anytime if there's anything that you want to clarify, you want to go through, or personalize a little bit more for you. So let's get started. The very first thing that I want to talk to you about is the really simple fact that there are 2 distinct sides to your Mary Kay business that need to be mastered in order for you to be as successful as you possibly can be. One, which we're going to cover tonight, is developing the skills to ensure that you're always in control of having appointments in your diary. In particular, that development of the skill to work what we call full circle. So that at every pamper appointment that you conduct, you're booking at least 2 future appointments. You're selling 2 sets or 2 collections of products. That way you're not only maximizing your sales at your appointment, but you're having happy customers that will build long-term loyal customers and have that loyal customer base. But you're also selecting 1, if not 2 ladies that you can sit down with and simply offer them the opportunity to hear more about consultancy with Mary Kay. And in that way, by doing that, you will grow your team. So working full circle is simply at every single appointment, booking and holding more appointments from that appointment, selling in sets, and obviously identifying women and scheduling time for you to chat with them about, potentially joining the business. It's future bookings, it's selling in sets, and it's recruiting at every appointment. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more about that tonight. But it's also about working with a detailed plan, putting action behind your goals and then making a decision. You girls have heard me say this so many times. Putting action behind your goals and then making a decision to work smart, not just hard, okay? I'm all for working hard. You girls know that I work hard when I work, but when I take time off, I take time off. But when I work smart so I can get maximum impact for the time that I'm putting in. So by doing the working smart, you need to fine-tune your skills in the arenas of bookings, how you coach your hostess, the process of that, how you're selling at your appointments, how you're sharing and recruiting women, and how you're following up with some client care. Following the words, following the scripts, the suggested words that we have until they become second nature. The absolute reality is this business of Mary Kay is so crazy easy. If all you do is learn the words, follow the scripts and conduct the business with, the ultimate enthusiastic professionalism, the ethics and integrity that Mary Kay would want us to do, you've got a winning combination. You don't actually have to do anything more than that. And I know from my own personal experience, I am testament to that. I truly, truly wish so many times I could wind the clock back 20-something years ago when I first started as a consultant so you could see, honestly, how pathetic I was when I first started as a consultant. You girls have to understand, I didn't even wear makeup. I didn't really like the fact that I was a girl and, having to wear a skirt or a dress, just the brushing my hair was a chore. So, anything, working with skincare and makeup was really a challenge for me in many respects. So it's actually quite interesting, how life has obviously developed. But I had no clue about sharing any of those things with other women. For some people, it seemed to come quite naturally. For me, it didn't. But add to that the fact that I had no confidence. I had zero, and I mean zero self-esteem. I physically, and I mean physically, could not even force myself to walk through a door and into a room of people that I didn't know. I would have been frozen with fear and had panic attacks. And at the time, I didn't really even know that they were panic attacks. But that's really, I look back now and think that's really how it was for me. I was insecure and low self-esteem and I had no idea. So I had no skill. I had no interest really in skincare and makeup, or skincare, yes, but makeup, no. Girly stuff, no. But I had no confidence and no self-esteem. The thing that I know though is that if I can learn how to do it, you can too. And all I did was repeat the words that I got given. And I did them parrot fashion. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not recommending anybody does that, but that's actually how I learnt this business. And that's how it's become second nature for me. And I'll give you a few tips on things that you can do as we go through. But I just want you to know that, if I can do this, and I mean that so sincerely and so genuinely, think of the most insecure, uptight, shy, horrendously shy woman that wears no makeup, that is the last person that you would ever consider to be successful in Mary Kay. Think of that person. Multiply her by about 100 and you're probably getting close to where I was at 22 years ago when I first said yes to joining Mary Kay. Okay, you got a picture in your mind? So if I can do it and I can learn it and I can have a successful business by learning the skill of this business, then surely you've got a little bit more hope in the fact that you can do it too. Okay? So, a winning combination is learning the words, following the scripts, conducting your business with enthusiasm, professionalism, the ethics and the integrity of Mary Kay, and that genuine care for other women. That's the winning combination. Every script, every dialogue, every word, you have my words, the words that I use, that I still use today, even though they come out probably far more naturally today and I don't have to read it off a script. But every outline that you could ever need, and all of those things are available to you at your fingertips on our website, or on my website, which is Carissa Campbell, CARISSA, Campbell, CAMPBELL.com.au. Just go into training and resources. The password is SHINE. All the booking words are there. How to start a party, how to close a party, the words that you would use, the sets that you would use at those parties, particularly for a Beautiful Basics, which is where I really want to get you to hone your skills to. But the outline for those parties, the products that you need to take, the knowledge that you need about those products, everything is there at your fingertips. And if all that you do is follow those things step by step, word for word, you have a winning combo by adding your enthusiasm to it. Okay. So I want you to really, at this point in time, focus in on the areas that you need to refine at this point in time. All of you are at different places. As I've already said, some of you are brand new. Some of you have been in our business for a year. Some of you have been in the business for 5 years, 10 years. But you need to really get serious with yourself and honest with yourself and refine where you need to refine immediately. My belief is that if you don't have 5 to 10 bookings in your diary, bookings is your place that you need to start. Getting a contact list in place, getting your booking words sorted, getting your bookings actually in your diary. The women that go, yeah, that'd be great. Let's sort a date out in a couple of weeks' time. That's not a booking in your diary. That's a potential, but she's still on your list. She's not in your diary written in, okay? So 5 to 10 bookings in your diary. Then you can shift your focus and your education to learning the next steps on how to conduct your parties and appointments, mastering the class open, the class close, mastering those individual consultation, and being really proficient in things like the knowledge of skincare products, that beautiful skincare line, particularly for that Beautiful Basics appointment initially, as I've said, to ensure that you are consistently selling skincare products as well as securing future bookings from your parties. So really focus in on bookings first and then shift your focus to another layer of training. Don't try and do every single thing at once because you'll just water it all down. Get your bookings in place. Then you can set that aside and focus on the next step, which will be focusing on your appointments. Once you've got that down pat, the next step that I really want you to look at is looking at team building and sharing. Once again, learn the words, find her need and make it all about her. Look at things like the steps of PACE, the 4-point team building plan in particular. Those things work so well. You've got all the words there that really do work so well. The fact is though, they work really well when you use them. And that's the reality, girls. They work well when you use them, but they're all there at your fingertips and you can learn them. So carissacampbell.com.au, go to training and resources and the password is SHINE. So the next thing when it comes to developing skills that I really want to, I guess, just instill the thought process within you is to make a decision to build a relationship with women that you meet. Communicate over the phone with client care, offering a really great follow-up service, because that's one of the things that makes Mary Kay so unique. It's our ongoing service. It's more than just a one-off sale. It's also being able to offer a professional support to your team members. Your actions will set the best example for them to succeed as well. Prioritise your time and learn how to coach your hostesses, building that relationship with her to ensure the best possible outcome for her as well as for you at the actual appointment. When you take time, and it doesn't take a lot of time, I will give you some tips on this, but when you take the time and you make the decision to take the time to self-educate, to master the words, to create the skills required in any of these areas, you will become so much more confident at your parties. You will offer a professional recommendation during the individual consultations and also during your follow-up calls. And really the reality is you'll just start working a whole lot smarter rather than harder. So let me ask you a question, and I want you to just write an instant yes or no down on your piece of paper. Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to put in the time and the effort that it takes? It's not hard, but are you willing to put the time and effort in that it takes to learn for a better outcome? If you could double, triple, quadruple, multiply by 10 the outcome that you're currently getting, are you willing to learn in order to do that? And if you are, then you need to understand that skills take time to develop, but it doesn't need to take forever because it's not hard work. It's just focused efforts in the right areas without diluting it with other things. Every little bit of extra effort or extra mile that gives you, that's going to just give you secure and a stronger outcome that's going to set you up for the future. Okay, does that make sense? The second topic that I really want to cover tonight, I'm going to just give you a basic outline and then I'm going to give you some really structured tips that you can write down to sort of, really start to implement. So part of it is the developing of skills, which we've just spoken about. The other side of the business that can sometimes be really overlooked, and this is, I guess it's not just part of our business, but it's part of life as well. And it's just as equally important, if not more so, than developing the skills. Because I saw something the other day, I was reading an article and it was in direct selling, but it was all about business and those kind of things. And they were basically talking about success in direct selling or business. It literally is, if you split it between 100%, it's 15% skill. It's 85% attitude. And, really the part of the business that we really want to look at now is your emotional growth. And it's not just emotional growth in our business, it's emotional growth in life. Because, this business teaches us so much more than just how to book, coach, sell and share Mary Kay stuff, okay? It teaches us life skills. It teaches us how to do life better, bigger, grander, just with a much better attitude. And, I want you to really think about the last time that you got up and you were feeling really crappy for the day and you were a bit crabby and we were in that mood, okay? You think about it. Women, I get it. We've all been there, hey? We all understand what I'm talking about here, right? How does that affect you? It affects everyone around you. It's your partner or your hubby. If you've got kids, it affects them. You might snap at them in the morning to try and get them ready more than you would normally. You're in a grump going to work or in the car. You're snapping at everybody at every intersection because no one's driving right. It can ruin your entire day But to change a thought, to have emotional growth where you are equipped to just go, I can change that in a blink of an eye, a snap of a finger, and snap your state out of that spot and change it to something different, that gives you power. That is emotional growth, not just in this business to handle challenges, but in life to handle challenges that come your way as well. They're the things that makes Mary Kay so incredibly special. Because it equips you to handle stuff in business, absolutely. It equips you to set you up for success, but it's also going to equip you to set you up for life and life success. And the more you set yourself up for those things, the more you're going to pass that on to the people that are around you, your family, your husband, your mum, your dad, your sisters, your brothers, your children. And they learn by example. And you know what? When you start handling life differently, if you wake up and you're happy and you're excited and nothing bothers you and you're just floating on air, what happens with the kids that morning? It all just seems to flow, doesn't it? They may not actually be better behaved. They may not get ready any darn quicker, but you know what? You handle it differently and they see that and they react differently. And they're just some of the things that you can learn so incredibly with Mary Kay that overflows into life. So the part that we're going to look at right now, and I'm going to give you a few little thoughts to really think about, it's this emotional growth area. For me, it's really the area that's going to carry you through challenges and disappointments. As long as we make a decision to personally grow, and we have to make that decision because it doesn't happen naturally. You know, you can have 10 years experience or you can have 1 year 10 times over. And that's a choice in your personal growth and your personal experience and how you handle it. Emotional growth can be a hard area to pinpoint because it's not so much age related as it is maturity based. And, you know, will often depend on things like our upbringing, our environment, our confidence level, that level of self-confidence that we have, that self-esteem, our experiences, our attitude, and also the mindset that we choose to have. However, we all have a starting point. And if we draw a line in the sand, and today is our starting point, when we make a decision to continually grow, we set ourselves up for the next position, that next stage of life, that next spot that's going to just help us to shine and to flourish. It's that next step of success, the next reward, and we can operate at a higher level and not let ourselves down because of fear of failure, because of excuses, because of insecurities. You hear me? Anyone agree with me here? You getting where I'm coming from? Are we all feeling it just a little bit? You kind of nodding your heads going, oh my God, is she just talking to me? Because you know what? I'm talking to me too. I've been here. So my question for you is really simple. What will it take to stop you? What is it that someone could say to you or do to you that would cause you to lose faith or lose focus in your dream or the goals that you have, or to stall the progression that you have, or your desire to move forward in our company? Because you know what? Our company is so equipped and so set up for whatever future you can imagine for yourself. Do you want to live in a mansion on a hill? Do you want to drive the flashiest car that you can imagine? Do you want to have a debt-free lifestyle? Do you want to travel the world? Do you just want to have the most amazing level of self-confidence that you are so secure within yourself that you can pass that on to your children? Do you just want to have fun and frivolity 24/7 and love your life to pieces? What do you want? Like, what do you want out of life? Do you want to get up every single day without doubt, without hesitation, without fear, without those insecurities? Do you want to have your feet hit the floor and go, yes, I am ready to attack the day because I'm loving my life. I have places to go and people to see and I am excited. Let me get at it. Or are you holding back? Because, you know, I remember in my previous life, before Mary Kay, many of you have heard me say this before, I would literally, and I mean literally, lie in bed and I would feel my forehead and I'd be like, do I have a fever? Am I unwell? Can I take a sick day? Do I have an excuse that I can get by with to not go into that place today? Because it was killing my soul. And I would come home daily in tears and it was just ripping my soul apart. I did not have excitement and joy in my life. It was not a happy place to go. It was the place that dreams went to die. quite honestly. And you know what? When I made the change, when I made the decision that I would grab hold of my Mary Kay business and I would move it forward and I would push past my fear and I would push past my insecurities, I knew there was an awful lot. Yeah, you can laugh, Nicole, but it's true. I truly did that. I used to have a thermometer sitting beside my bed and I'd take my temperature. Sometimes I'd do that after I'd had a cup of tea just so it spiked just a little bit. That's a true story. But you know what? I made a decision. I had to push past my fear and excuses and insecurities and my limiting beliefs in myself because of who I was and how I had been. That I was willing to grow and develop me as a person so I could grow and develop my Mary Kay business, because I didn't want that future that I was currently living in for the rest of my life. And it took courage to do that. I didn't have confidence in that moment, but I did have a moment of courage to just step out in faith and know that I could do that. There are going to be times, and this is where, this is the reality side of it, okay? There's going to be times when the wind is going to be knocked out of your sails because someone's going to change their mind, someone's going to say no to you, someone's going to postpone their party or not show up for that team building appointment, and you were so determined she was going to be your next new team member. Perhaps she wasn't even home when you knocked on the door, even though she seemed so keen yesterday. There will always be situations in your personal life that can hurt you as well or cause you frustration. Even though you will face challenges and obstacles, I want you to know failure is not in the falling down. Failure is in the staying down. You don't ever drown by falling into the water. And I want you to think about that for a second. You don't drown by falling into the water. You only drown by staying there. Okay? There have been so many successful women in Mary Kay that have faced so many hurdles, but too many women have been a success for it to have been a fluke. And you know what, if so many women can bounce back, push forward and continue to progress in this business and grab hold of their dreams, whatever they are, large or small, however far they can see in that moment, then why can't you? Why can't you do that too? All these experiences are going to give you just that. They're going to give you experience. I love this saying, and it's not necessarily my favorite, but I do love it. It's not what happens to you that matters, it's how you handle it that matters. It's how we respond rather than react that makes the biggest difference in the security of our business and the state of our mind. Reality tells us that people and really human nature will intervene and let us down. Okay, not everybody, just the minority, but there are things that are going to hurt us and let us down. There's always someone waiting to meet you, work with you, and enjoy all that Mary Kay offers with you by their side. Okay, so which thought are you going to choose? Are you going to be the person that's just looking for, well, she's just going to disappoint me, let me down, or postpone, or hurt my heart in some way? Or are you going to be the person that goes, you know what, there's someone else out there that's waiting for me to offer them an appointment, waiting for me to offer them an opportunity, waiting for me to give them what I have to offer? What person are you? I want you to think about this as well. Are you sabotaging your own success? Are you sabotaging your own success by, I've just lost my place here. Are you sabotaging your own success by allowing other people's negative responses or their lack of enthusiasm to affect your vision and passion for what you have? Because what you've got in the palm of your hands is so unique. It's so different. A lot of people don't get it. And sometimes the people that are closest to us are the ones that don't get it. Are you going to let their thought processes and their negative responses, their lack of enthusiasm, stop you and allow your beliefs and your enthusiasm to be negated because of them? Are you sabotaging your own success by believing your own excuses? Are you telling yourself, I can't do that because this happened, so I can't because I haven't got time, so I can't. You know what? I'm really, really busy, so I just can't do that right now. What are you telling yourself? Because you know what? They're all just limiting beliefs, and they're just stories that you're telling yourself in order to convince yourself that you can't. Okay? Remember, you have the power of choice. Positive thinking, positive action, it's all choice. Progression forward is a choice. So think about this. This was an example that I remember reading it in a book, and for the life of me, I don't remember the name of the book, but anyway, I read it in a book years and years and years ago. If you waste money on a really terrible movie. Now, Rod and I, we love movies. Like, we don't watch a lot of TV, but we love movies. I love, love, love movies. But we've watched some really terrible movies. He is banned from Netflix. He's not allowed to pick the movies that we watch. He loves things that are spacey, with dragons, with things flying and, Star Trek, stuff like that. It's not my idea of a good time. He picks terrible movies, okay? So he doesn't get to choose. You might have someone in your world like that too. We've all got different tastes, haven't we? But you think about the last really, really shitty movie that you watched, the terrible, terrible movie where you just go, well, I can't tell you how many times I've gone, well, there's 2 hours of my life I'm not going to get back. But you know what? If you waste money on a terrible movie or waste 2 hours on a terrible movie, does that actually stop you from going to the movies, or does it stop you watching movies? No, it doesn't, does it? You kind of just have a laugh about it. We laugh about it in our house now. It's like there's a fight over the remote control if we're having a movie night because Rod's not allowed to have it because there's 2 hours of my life I'll never get back again. And, if you open a bottle of wine and it's really a bit gross, do you actually stop drinking wine? No. Well, that doesn't happen in my house, okay? I don't know about your house, but if you open a bottle of wine and go, oh no, that's not really very nice, it doesn't stop you drinking wine. Do you avoid eating out if you've had one bad experience or one really terrible meal? You don't just avoid eating out because you've had one terrible experience. So the reality is, if you don't let those things stop you, why do we allow one person's negative response or a situation in life or, a situation or a challenge that's happened to you or something that's hurt your heart in your Mary Kay business to impact us in a negative way, to stop us in our path? Something that I heard a long time ago is to look at it this way, and you might want to write this down. Some will, some won't. So what? Exclamation mark, underlined, highlighted. So what? Stop whining. Start winning. Someone's waiting. Who's next? Let me read that to you again. Some will, some won't. So what? Stop whining. Start winning. Someone's waiting. Who's next? Just move on. And you know what? Part of the emotional growth and switching around an attitude that can be negative and woe is me and blah, to something that's positive and encouraging and enlightened, enthusiastic, is changing that thought process. Entertaining something that can make you giggle and not upset you. And having something like that going, oh, so what? Stop whining. I'm going to start winning. Who's next? Bring them on. Have fun with it and find a lightness in it rather than the heaviness that can drag you down. Be committed to success. Be committed to doing whatever it takes. Master the arena of developing the skills, yes, but master the obedience of your mind. Make a decision to keep stepping forward, keep making it happen. What I'm going to do now is just talk you through a few things on, taking the next step. So we've really I just touched on the concept of developing skills, the concept of, that emotional growth and taking care of those kind of things. Once we really look into the actual nuts and bolts of those things, we need to look at taking that next step for you, whatever that is. So what is your next step? Where are you headed in your Mary Kay business this week, this month, this quarter, this year? Where do you want to be in 12 months' time, 3 years' time, 5 years' time? Where do you see your life in 12 months' time, and what part can Mary Kay play in that? Have you got a big picture vision for your life? What does that look like for you? Are you minimum thinking, or is there, something much grander for your life that you want? I know it's kind of just another way of saying what's your goal, but sometimes the goal word can freak us out just a little bit. But, I want you to think about, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What is the next step for you? What excites you? If you could have anything in this world at all, and we can get that with your Mary Kay business, and it excites you, what would that be? I know we all have a certain element of fear. I don't know what that is, but we have an element of fear that's associated with the word of goal. But you know what? Mary Kay Ash herself said, don't be afraid to set goals. Dream big, set goals, make plans, and then just act on them. It really is that simple. So let's not complicate it, okay? Someone once said, you're going to think anyway, so you might as well think big. Okay? You're going to think big anyway, so you might as well just think big. No one can predict to what heights that you can soar until you spread your wings. I had no clue. None. No clue what I could do or what I was capable of achieving in this business when I first started. And to be really honest, I honestly thought my first goal was going to be to figure out how I could quit, because makeup was not my thing. And the whole positive, vibey, huggy, girly, woohoo, we're all so excited and happy made me so incredibly uncomfortable. It was just not what I was used to. It was not the environment that I'd been raised in. It was not happy. It was not positive. And, and even my work environment was not like that. To walk into a room of women that were happy and enthusiastic and happy to see you and would hug you, that didn't happen in my workplace, let me tell you. And that made me so uncomfortable. And to realize, that made me feel uncomfortable. So what the heck was wrong with me? This is probably what I need. Then, that made me take stock of, moving forward in my Mary Kay business. But you know what? If I had have seen back then, 20 years ago, if I had have had a crystal ball, wouldn't that have been great? If I had have had a crystal ball to see the business that I could have built, the lives that I could have touched, the women that I could have met that are now just the most incredible part of my world and my life, the friends that I've made for life that are really like family to me, but the life and the lifestyle that I've been able to create because of this business. If I had have had that crystal ball 20 years ago, gosh, it would have been so much easier to take that step and to have that leap of faith. But you know what? I didn't have that crystal ball. I just had to take that step and that leap of faith, because you can't predict how far you can go. You can just give it your all. You have an awesome opportunity in front of you. But the Mary Kay career path, and whether it's the career path or the commission structure for our sales, whatever it is, it's all just a plan on paper until we make a decision to move up. Until we make a decision to put action and commitment in place to make things happen. I remember when I first made the decision, really made a decision. And you know what? I talked it for a little while. I talked it for a year, maybe two, that perhaps I might go into DIQ. After 6 months, Mary Kay working my other job, I left that other job to do Mary Kay full time. Okay? The wheels fell off very quickly. I had 17 postponements in my very first month of not having full-time work, not actually having another job, having Mary Kay as my only income. Talk about that as a confidence booster. That's a small amount of sarcasm. But you know what? I had talked for a year or two about moving up in my business. I had 3 team members, I think, when I left that other job. I was nowhere near directorship level, but I replaced my other full-time income on my personal sales alone. And I knew that I could take control of that. I'd already been doing it for a number of months, so I knew that I was capable of doing it. But when I made the decision to move up into DIQ, and I mean really made the decision, because sometimes we can make a decision, but then we don't act on it. So we've made a decision, but we haven't really made the decision. Do you know what I mean? When I made the decision to really move up and put action into place, I was completely terrified, and I mean terrified. But mostly though, when I look back now, it was just fear of the unknown and probably fear of failure, if I'm honest. Hindsight is a marvelous thing though, don't you agree? If only I knew then what I know now, isn't that an old chestnut? If only I had listened to when people had assured me that, I would eventually arrive at a successful destination, the terror, the fear, all of that stuff back then would have just been water off a duck's back. I probably would have taken that next step sooner. So I'm going to ask you right now, whatever your next step is, I'm going to ask you just to take a little leap of faith with me now. Take a leap of faith. Let me take you by the hand and take a leap of faith, and we'll do this thing together. We'll move forward together and do it step by step without terrifying you to pieces and giving you nightmares, but we'll do it step by step together and do that next step to move forward. The greatest mistake we can make is to be afraid of making a mistake. That thought of what if I fail? There's a lot of ways to fail, but by having a go is the greatest way to succeed. So get clear, get your pen, get your paper. What is your next step? If you were to take the next step in your business right now, this month, the next 3 months, the next 6 months, the next 12 months, what would that look like for you? Is it a next step on the career path? What income would you like to be generating from your Mary Kay business? What star on your ladder of success would you like to be earning? And I want you to grab a piece of paper and write that down now, without hesitation, without fear, without those thought processes. So what's the next step in your business? This month, within 3 months, within 6 months, and within 12 months. Without fear, without hesitation, career path, income, ladder of success goal, I need you to write those things down. So you can dot point that now and you can come back to it later. The highway of opportunity in Mary Kay is so ridiculously wide that every single one of you can find your own lane. Some people dream of success. Some people dream of success and they just dream and they're always in dreamland. While others wake up and they just work at it. Okay, your thoughts, your hopes, your desires, your passion, your purpose will all be governed by your actions. Making a decision to move forward is just taking the next step. Unless you've got something written down, unless you're prepared and you're willing to take another step in your business, very little of what I've said or what I ever will say or what you'll ever hear or what you'll ever read or what you'll ever learn about or hear about will have any impact. It's not going to have much impact at all. But more than that, unless you're prepared to leave this training session right here tonight and make some necessary changes in daily activities, daily habits, you'll probably be back here next week, next month. Worse still, you'll be back here next year in the same place that you're in right now. Or worse still, probably the thing that would terrify me the most is that you'd probably be going backwards. So, pen and paper in hand, I'm going to give you some tips now, some top tips that you might want to write down step by step. So these are things that I really want you to focus on. And if you haven't got them in place, then they're things that we need to start working on in place. And you and I can do that one-on-one individually and fine tune it for you. So this is just a dot point. Give things a big tick if you've already done it and you've already sorted it, all that stuff, fantastic. The first thing that I really want you to look at, if you haven't done it already, is put a weekly plan in place. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, a weekly plan is available on my website, carissacampbell.com.au. Go to training and resources, password is Shine. A weekly plan will give you structure. It will support you to allocate time. It will actually allow you to see the time that you actually have available in your week, and it supports the flow within your week, and it takes the hassle out of what am I doing? Where am I going? It takes the busyness out of your brain and it puts it down on paper. It also gives you clarity with your family. Now, I'm going to show you my weekly plan. Mary Kay, you all know, Mary Kay is my full-time business. It's my full-time job. I don't work another job. We don't have babies at home. Our kids are all grown. So, we're in a different stage of life. My life hasn't always been that way. I was much younger when I started in Mary Kay. And, I didn't have babies when I first started as a consultant. And I've been through that season of, breastfeeding babies or baby and, going through the toddler and the teenage and, all that stuff. But I've always worked with a weekly plan, and there's so many reasons why it's beneficial. It helps you see ridiculously clearly where you have time available that you can allocate to your Mary Kay business. Because sometimes we can think, I'm so busy, when really you might have just spent 3 hours watching a TV show. Is that going to really grow and build your future? Not so much, okay? So a weekly plan is really good for that because it shows you where you do have time or where you might have an hour here or 2 hours there or 3 hours there. But the other thing that it does is when you color code everything, laminate it and pop it onto your fridge, it actually shows your family what your week looks like or where you are or what you're doing. And then there's no hassles, there's no drama in how the week unfolds or how it looks. I'm so fortunate in my house is that, I get to choose my schedule, as you do too. I have flexibility in my day and in my week, of course, but I love having a structure and schedule in my week. It supports my family, it supports me. But, for my hubby and I, he knows that a Monday and a Tuesday night are primarily work nights for me. Wednesday night, we have a night at home together. Monday and Tuesday night, he's usually playing golf or bike riding or doing some boy thing. But it frees me up to work and vice versa. Wednesday night's our night at home together. So the minute he walks in the door, I'm finished work, we go get groceries or buy food or get takeaway or go out to dinner or we do something, but we just do something together. And Thursday night's usually sometimes a work night for me. Friday night's like a night out for us. We go and have a few drinks with friends and go out for dinner or whatever. Saturday night's always a night at home for us, and Sunday is our date day. but I have structured things within my week, and I just want to show you my weekly plan. That's actually it there. And I have everything color coded. Now, I work off an electronic diary, which is just through Outlook, through my Outlook email. But basically, I look at my entire week. All the little green bits are where I do income producing activities, like my appointments when I'm working with clients. The pink bits when I'm actually in my office, usually working with you guys, working with my directors. Blue is my personal time. Yellow is my exercise time. And, I have a focus for every day. And there's flexibility within that. Next week, normally a Wednesday night, I don't work, but next week I had a client that I really, really want to work with, and Wednesday night is next Wednesday night. But the trade-off is I'm not working on Thursday night. And Rod switched his week around, so he's now doing golf or whatever it is that he does on a Thursday night, and he's doing that on a Wednesday night, and we'll have Thursday night together. So there's a trade-off. It's just flexible like that, and that's the flexibility that you've got too. But put a weekly plan in place so you know where you are and what you're doing. That's point number one. Have a completed contact list. It's not rocket science, okay? The list that I'm going to give you, the tips that I'm going to give you to take the next step, it's not rocket science. I bet most of you have got names and thoughts and women that you're just going, I need to call her, I need to call her. Oh yes, I need to remember to call her. And you've got it all in your brain. Or you're looking at your phone going, I've got all these names in Facebook or in my contact list or my emails, and they're all there, but get them out of your brain and put them down on a contact list. Once again, carissacampbell.com.au, go to training and resources. You have a 5-page contact list for all the different areas of your life, right across the country, in every different area, but get them out of your brain and get them down on paper. It will make it simple for you. Your booking processes will be so much more simplified by getting your contact list down. Next step, make sure you have booked in your diary 5 to 10 appointments in your diary, so you can then just work the process. I think from the years of experience that I've had, the one thing that I have seen so many consultants do is that we get 1 or 2 bookings in our diary and then we get really excited and then we run off and we go and try and do our appointments. But you know what, if you get a postponement of 1 or 2 appointments, you're back to square one again. You're back to going right back to that contact list, right back to your booking words, right back to just starting again, trying to find phone time, trying to get people on the phone, trying to get bookings, trying to get bookings, trying to get bookings. You get 1 or 2 more and you start again. Couple postpone, you're back to bookings again, back to bookings again, and it's just hard work, you guys. It's hard. Remember, we're about working smart, not hard. But I really want to encourage you to just give yourself, smash your names out, and yep, you're going to probably have more than 5 pages of contacts by the time you go through them all if you just brain dump and not overthink it. Get all those names down without prejudging anybody. Just smash them all out on paper and book everybody. Give yourself 24, 48, 72 hours at the most as a challenge, a personal challenge to you, to get those people booked in your diary. As many as you can. And don't stop until you've got 10. Because you know what, from experience, I know if you've got 10 bookings in your diary, there's no way you're going to hold 10 because someone somewhere will need to shuffle that appointment. Her kids will get sick. She'll get called into work. She'll figure out that date doesn't work for her. She had another commitment on. It will need to shuffle. It will need to move. You'll end up holding, really, we talk book 8 to hold 5. So if you book 10, you probably hold 6, maybe 7. Okay, that's the reality, but you've got to learn to work the numbers. So book at least those 10 bookings in your diary, so then you can just work that process. If you've got 10 bookings in your diary, you can put that aside. It allows for the postponements, but it ensures that you're booking appointments and holding them consistently every week, which is going to support you to increase your results. Okay? Streamline your appointments. That's the next point. Streamline your appointments. Work from a pamper menu. Don't be scattered and take every appointment, every product that you've got to your appointments. That just does not work. Work with a streamlined appointment, specific sets on offer for each pamper type. This is really going to allow you 2 to 3 new pamper bookings from your appointments. Remember I said right from the beginning, we want to work smart. We want to work full circle. You want to be working 2 new bookings from every pamper that you do. You want to be selling in sets and you want to be finding women you can recruit. So you want to make it easy, okay? And you got to make it look easy. The way to do that is to have a pamper menu. And I truly believe no matter where you're at in your business, your Beautiful Basics appointment is the way to go as a starting point. I do that with every new customer. I would do no more, I reckon I do 2 to 3 Beautiful Basics appointments almost every week. And, then there's always the people that I meet at those appointments that want to do foundation or might want to do color or might want to do a skin rejuvenation. But some of them just want to repeat a Beautiful Basics again because they've got a whole new group of girlfriends that have never tried Mary Kay and they just want to keep it simple. Beautiful Basics is your starting point for everything. It's simple. And once again, website, carissacampbell.com.au, training resources, password shine. You have a checklist, you have an outline, you have everything that you need for a Beautiful Basics appointment. The products that you need. Don't take anything that's not on that checklist. If it's not on the checklist, it doesn't go in your bag. Okay? Just keep it simple. And then you can sell in sets. It's so difficult to go, if you'd like a deluxe collection today, if you just want one of everything that you've tried, except the deluxe collection's got this, this, and this, and you didn't try that, but you did try this, this, and that's not in the deluxe collection. That's messy. You can't sell a deluxe collection like that, okay? And we had perfume today, and we had a body cream today, and that's not in the deluxe collection either, but look, you get the idea. It's just messy, okay? The way I close my appointments is so ridiculously simple. If you have a look at the sets that are on our website, it's so easy for me to say to women, if you want one of everything that we've tried today, the deluxe collection is what you're looking for because it will give you one of every single thing that you've put on your face, everything personalized for you. If your budget's not going to stretch quite that far, then the essential collection, it's just got a few little bits that's missing, but everything, you've still tried everything on your face today. And you know what, if you just want to start with a few really super duper simple basics, then, one of the basic sets is the way to go. But you can't do that if you've got snippety bits of everything. So streamline your appointments. Keep it simple and work really smart. So refer to the Pamper Menu checklist and the outlines for each of the appointment and just stick to those as your starting point. Always ask for referrals and always follow up with those referrals from your appointments. Referrals give you leverage, okay? I always ask for referrals at my appointments and sometimes I get them, sometimes I don't, but you know what? It doesn't matter. If I've got a client that gives me referrals of 3 or 4 girlfriends, my aim is that I don't actually have to call them because if I've got 3 or 4 names of her girlfriends that she thinks would probably try Mary Kay, how easy is it for me to say to her, you've got 3 or 4 girlfriends here that you think probably would like to try Mary Kay, and I'd like to work with you again. And we talked about using that charcoal mask and those other couple of products at maybe a skin rejuvenation appointment that we didn't do today. We could do that down the track for you, and you could invite your girlfriends to that. How does that sound for you? And I can give you some host tester awards. Would you like that? Because I'd love to do that with you. Let's do that. So easy for me to do that when she can't then say to me, I don't know anyone that I'd invite, because she's just given me names of 3 or 4 people. Okay? Makes it really easy. Always ask for referrals, always follow up. If she doesn't want to book the appointment, that's okay. I still have 3 or 4 names that I can follow up with. I'm winning. Coach your hostesses to have a successful appointment and receive maximum hostess rewards. Keep that process so simple. Mine is just a copy and a paste. Copy and a paste, copy and a paste. I have text that I use, and once again, go to my website and have a look at the outlines for hostess coaching. Create those images, pick collage. I love Canva to create images on. They're free apps that you can actually get for your computer, for your phone. They're really great to just have standardized text pictures that you can use that you can just send out as texts with like a personalized text to your hostess to coach her in a really positive and enthusiastic way. But coach your hostesses to have successful appointments. The next tip for really taking the next step in your business is always, and I mean always, conduct an individual consultation at your appointments. It's going to secure your business. It's going to build relationships. It's going to give you bookings in your diary, but it's going to give you potential team members, but it's going to increase your sales. There's many national sales directors in the United States that have been so successful in our business for generations that truly believe you will triple your business if you do that individual consultation at your appointments. And what I mean by that is, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is once you finish the group appointment, close off the appointments with the sets, give them time to have a little think about it, Have a look at that product set while you tidy up the mess off the table. I then hand all of my ladies our What Women Want survey, get them to complete that while I clean up the mess. And then I might move to the kitchen bench. I might move to the lounge room. I might just move to a corner of the dining room table. And I chat with each lady individually. We go through her What Women Want survey. We go through her profile card and I chat with her individually. And you will find an outline for your individual consultation. And the guidelines for that is how you secure those next bookings, how you get those set sales, but how you also personalize everything to her and say to her, I'd love to chat with you a bit more about Mary Kay. This is the last thing I'm sure you've ever thought about. But you know what? I would just love to tell you a bit more about how we make our money in Mary Kay. I think you'll be impressed by what Mary Kay offers. Might be for you, might not. You don't have to make a decision right now. Why don't we just have a coffee and we can chat about it? You know, you can do all of that while you chat with her individually. That's done at your individual consultation. As I've already said, you need to sell in sets that are personalised to that pamper menu because it builds a really strong reorder business. My reorder business is so strong because I've always sold in sets. It's so rare for me to sell individual products because I do, but it's very rare for me to do that because I always promote the sets for each pamper appointment. Always book at least 1 to 2 guests from every appointment that you do to just hear more about consultancy from Mary Kay, and try and conduct at least 2 to 3 recruiting chats every week. Now, until you're in that place of going, yes, I'm doing this and I'm so confident with this and I've got a handle on it and I'm off and I'm racing and I'm moving, I will do those recruiting chats with you. You just have to, from your appointments, go, I want to chat to her, her and her. And then you and I will do those together. I will do the chat. We can do a 3-way chat on the phone or coffee if you live close to me. And I will conduct that for you while you listen in and basically learn while we do it. The next tip that I want to give you is to plan your customer service into your week. But when I say plan your customer service into your week, if you come back to my weekly plan, look at all my little green spots. I do not allocate time in my week, in any of my green spots at all, for customer service. I don't. I never have. For about 20 years now, I have not physically scheduled customer service time. I don't plan specific phone time to sit down and do customer service or to send out messages or to touch base with customers. I don't plan to do that, okay? But what I do is that in my times that I've got my little green slots scheduled, that are my natural appointment times, if I don't have an appointment scheduled, or if my appointment postpones or it needs to change or something happens, basically that then becomes natural phone time for me. I don't just go, oh, okay, my appointment postponed tonight. Oh, night off, I'll go watch a movie. It becomes, I still have that as my normal work time. I just use the time to just do my customer service. Okay, so plan your customer service into your week by using your postponement time. The other thing that I'm going to really suggest that you do, and this is going to make your life so much easier, update your retail order in your online ordering in Mary Kay InTouch, as well as update your customer profiles in your My Customers link in InTouch after every single appointment. Come home from your appointment and pop your bags aside, take out your profile cards, take out the orders and update your My Customers and log in the orders straight into your online order log and save it all in there. It's done, it's dusted, and mentally tell yourself your appointment is not finished until those things are done. Because then you're not piling up, 20, 30 profile cards to sit down and try and do it all at once. That's when it becomes overwhelming. The next tip that I'm going to share with you to take the next step in your business is make sure that you call me at least, and that's not ego to me, okay? But call me at least once a week to just have a business chat. Just for a progress update. Let me know about your goals. Let me know the good stuff that's happening as well as where you're challenged. Let me know what's happening within your business so I can support you better. I don't have all the answers, but I do have 22 years of experience at this point in time. So there's not terribly many things I would suggest that you could go through, you can be challenged with, that I haven't probably tried or done or figured out that it doesn't work or it works better in a different way. So I don't know it all, and I don't for a second think that I do, but I am here to support you and guide you, and I'm so passionate about ensuring that you work really smart rather than just working really hard. So make sure that we chat at least once a week, and we can set those times up. I've got some times at the end of this that I can let you know. The next thing, now this is so important because most of you are busy. Like, we're all busy in some capacity, whether you're working another job, whether you've got family and kids and just stuff. We're busy. We've got stuff going on. So we've got to maximize the time that we've got available. And there's, we're talking about the stuff that we need to learn from, the skills that we've got to put in place and emotional kind of growth and all this kind of stuff. It's like, well, when the hell do I find time to do all that? I really want to encourage you to turn your car into a training room. Okay? Listen to powerful, inspirational and educational material at every opportunity that you can. While you drive, while you're going for a walk, while you're working out at the gym, while you cook, while you're chopping up the veggies and you're cooking dinner. It's the best way to learn skills and development, have that emotional growth, and it's especially important when you do this daily. It doesn't have to just be the Mary Kay stuff of book, coach, sell, share information. Although a really, really great idea and something that I personally did as a brand new consultant, and you're going to hate me for telling you to do this, but I'm going to really insist that you do. Bookings is key, okay? Go print off the booking words. Go print off how to open and close the class. Print off product knowledge words. Print off how to do that individual consultation. Print off all the scripts of all that stuff and literally record yourself on your phone reading those words verbatim. Word for word, so scripted, so ridiculous. Just read them and record yourself and listen to yourself back again and again and again and again and again and again and again until you can't listen to it anymore. Because when you do that, and then when you go to have those conversations and say those words, they will come out so much more naturally than you can ever imagine. And so many people say to me, gee, you just know it and it's so natural and it's so like, it's just, that's how I learned. But back in my day, this is how old I am, it was a cassette tape that you had to push play and record. Some of you won't even know what that means. But you know what? That's how I learned. You'd sit there with a tape deck and you'd press play and record to record yourself. But that is a really, really great way to learn. I know, oh my God, Nicole. Yes, I am that old darling. But you know what? It's a really great way to learn those words, but hone in on one area first. Hone in on that bookings area as that starting point, but record yourself with those things and then just play it back. So it just becomes second nature and learn it. But when it comes to emotional growth, there's so much stuff that's available to you online. Think about just Google emotional growth, personal development. There's so many podcasts and online tutorials, YouTube clips that you can link into and listen to and watch while you're doing other stuff. I can't remember the last time I just sat down and purposely watched something. But if I'm unpacking an order, if I'm packing up deliveries for a client, if I'm putting together my showcase to go to my next appointment, I was about to say doing housework. I don't do housework. I have a cleaner for that. If I'm doing something around the house, I don't know, doing something, pottering around, doing whatever, I have something playing. If I'm driving, I do a lot of trips up and down our highway. It takes me hours. There's always something playing in my car. There's always material going into my brain, learning, educating, Mary Kay or personal development. And they're just things, if you know time management is a real issue for you, Google stuff on time management. Listen to people that are masters in those areas and pick up little tips that's going to impart things back into your world and your life that's going to really make an impression, whatever that happens to be. But listen to those recordings again and again. It's going to give you more confidence. I really want to encourage you to lift your thinking, to grow and develop you as a woman. Grow you as a leader, as a mentor to others. Success is not just about working hard at your business, it's about working hard on yourself too. And the good news is every single skill in this business and every single skill in life can be learnt. And if I can learn it, then crikeys, you can too. Become exceptional at the basics, like the booking and the coaching, the selling, the sharing, and just do it now, okay? Don't delay any further. Perfect those skills as soon as possible so you can move on to another skill and another skill and another skill and go just beyond and just beyond and just beyond. Go beyond and beyond and beyond the basics. Stay focused on that beautiful basics pamper, okay? Don't get distracted by all the other pretty stuff right at this point in time. Stay focused on your beautiful basics pamper and then flow on to the pamper parties because it will become a natural transition. I also really want to encourage you to keep everything all in one place. Work with a focus folder. Now that I've taken mine out of my folder, I'm going to show you my little focus folder. I really want to encourage you to work with a focus folder because this is going to help you keep everything organised. This is just a folder here, and I've just got a little sheet focus folder there. Your focus folder is a place for you to keep everything organised, every single thing in one place. You can take it with you wherever you go, so your business is always at your fingertips and you can make use of spare time. I have my vision board here. This has actually got pictures of like my vision board. It's also on my board behind me. This is like my purpose statement and my power statements that I created after coming out of my limiting self-beliefs. Obviously my weekly plan sheet, some other bits and pieces. I have all of my unit stuff. You girls would have like a section for your customers in here. So I have a customer section over here. I have my customer list, all of that sort of stuff, but you have everything all in one place. So the things that I would encourage you to put in there are things like your weekly plan, your goals, your vision board, your contact list, your booking words, your potential team members, your monthly promotions. Rip out those pages from your Applause magazines of monthly promotions and pop it into your focus folder. So you're not going, oh yeah, what was that special that was happening this month? Like, what are the conditions for that? It's all there at your fingertips. Things like your Applause magazine. Have a section that is just for notes that you can take from things like tonight, from workshops, from our unit nights, other things that are inspirational. So it's all there at your absolute fingertips. And one of the last tips that I want to share with you is just make sure that you attend every possible event. Attend everything that you possibly can. Those that show up will always move up. You learn more, you move up, and it really is that simple. So get organised in Mary Kay as well as at home. Have that plan of action to really work out where you're losing time. Something that I do and I've always done is cook meals in bulk, prep things in advance. It saves you so much time, and if you've got kids, get the kids involved in it. But even for me tonight, my hubby, I think he's just walked in the door. He's been out playing golf and whatever. But you know what? There's soup that I made like a week and a half ago. It's been in the freezer. It's been in, big containers in the freezer. I just made up, we had soup, we had a really cold snap back here a few weeks ago. I made up this big pot of soup, but I made enough to feed about 20 people, let's face it. But 3/4 of it went in the freezer. So there's meals there now where for nights like tonight, I didn't have to go think about food today. I didn't have to prep anything because it's already there. It got taken out of the freezer this morning and now he's just got to throw it in the microwave when he walks in the door tonight and he's fed. I don't have to do anything. It's awesome. And you know what? Slow cookers and all that stuff is fantastic for that. There's so many things that we can do to just help ourselves. There's things that we can do that, we don't have to freshly cook stuff every single day. We can just make it so much easier on ourselves. If you're doing things, and I know when Sarah was a little baby, younger, toddler age and that kind of stuff, things like bolognese or that kind of stuff, she loved that kind of stuff. Anything that was casserole or anything like that at all, I would make them in bulk. And, take it out of the freezer. And even though it's nice to have things that are freshly cooked and not just heated up in the microwave, throw it in the slow cooker at lunchtime or whatever and let it heat that baby up and have that nice smell through the day. And then it's just literally a 10-minute thing to cook the pasta. You're not cooking everything from scratch all the time. So be kind to yourself with that stuff. Get prepped with those kind of things and just work it smart. Free up your time where you can. A couple of other little things. If you've got to take the kids to soccer practice, swimming lessons, whatever, in a particular part of town, think about who do you know, who are your contacts in that part of town that you could call, message, and potentially catch up with while you're there. Take some sample packs with you to hand out to some of the other mums at soccer practice, swimming lessons, whatever. Take some products like moisture renewing gel masks. Satin Hands is great. Moisture renewing softener, hand cream, fragrance. Take some of those things for other women that are there, that are sitting there bored out of their brains like you probably are, that they can try in the back of their hands. Start a conversation. Make a booking. Make a new friend, start a relationship. I take my focus folder with me anywhere that I go. So, for those of you that have got kids, take it to your sports days, sporting events, those kind of things. You can, if you've got all your contacts in there, you can be sending out those customer service messages while you're watching, little Johnny kick the ball. But you can be confirming your parties with hostesses. You can also be booking new pamper appointments by sending just a few messages. Okay, you can do all of those things. I know for me, I find if I've got my doctor's just always behind time. Let me tell you, it's my bane of my existence. But my focus folder comes with me and I literally sit there with my phone and my folder. I sometimes have an hour. Now, I don't like wasting an hour, but I can have an hour of solid phone time while I'm at the doctor's surgery. Now, I can't literally sit on the phone and talk because I think that's rude while you're in a public waiting room. But, I can be sending an awful lot of messages in that hour. It's just smart. Well, I've got that all in my focus fodder, okay? Things like streamlining social media posts, okay? Follow up on every like or comment that you get on your social media posts. Follow up on those privately. That's really going to, move your business forward. So as we finish off, okay, I really want to get finished. We've got about 1 minute to go. I want you to ask yourself this. What needs to change in you, but also in your business, to take the next step effectively and with ease? Okay? What do you need to learn? Where do you need to improve? Is it your activity level? Are you right there? Are you kind of really in the game? Are you actually booking appointments? Do you have that weekly plan sorted? Have you got the contact list printed and written out? Are you making those booking calls? Have you given yourself that time frame to get those bookings in place? The reality is, if you're not really working, you're really not really working. Okay, you're just thinking about it. If you haven't booked a class, booked a recruiting interview, sold a product, conducted a recruiting appointment, conducted a selling appointment in your day, you haven't actually done anything to move your business forward. If it's not income producing, it's not productively moving your business forward. Now, I know that's a bit harsh, but that's actually the reality of it. If you haven't booked or sold a product or recruited somebody or put things in place to do that, then you're not actually moving your business forward. You're just thinking about it. So let's get focused. Let's get committed to income producing activities as your number one priority. Don't just hope for results, because hope, let's face it, hope's not a strategy, for goodness sake. You all need hope in your life, but hope's not a strategy. If you want good results, you need to do good actions. It's about making clear and educated decisions about how your journey to the next step's going to be. It's your choice, determined by your actions. We have a company that is leading women globally. We have an opportunity to have it all without the guilt, without the sacrifices to the things that are really the most precious to us. So much rises and falls on your commitment to excellence. You don't have to be perfect. Just be a woman who is willing and who wants more. Don't get caught up in fear. Don't get caught up in excuses. Like they say, feel the fear, but do it anyway. And when your passion and your purpose is so much greater than your fear and excuses, you will always find a way. So just really quickly, I want to leave this particular session. I've got a couple of other quick things that I want to go through, but I want to leave you with a challenge. Once again, you might want to write this down. I'm going to challenge you, and I want you to message me. Message me privately, or put a comment up in our little comment box if you're watching this online live. But I'm going to challenge you right now. In the next 48 hours, 48 hours, book eight appointments so you can hold 5 beautiful basics appointments this month. So within 48 hours, I really want to encourage you to have 8 bookings in your diary. So you can hold 5 appointments this month. Remember, it's a Mary Kay principle. If you book 8, you're going to hold 5. Okay? If you book 5, you won't hold 5. So I really want to encourage you to hold 5 beautiful basics appointments this month. And then together, you and I to hold 5 recruiting chats. So it's all about holding 5 beautiful basics appointments and conducting 5 recruiting chats this month. Women that you would love to have on your team. And I want you to post in the comments or message me if you're watching a playback that you are willing to take up the challenge. You don't even have to know at this point in time who the heck you're going to book or who the heck you might even chat to about recruiting. You don't even have to know that stuff. You just have to be willing to give it a go. So message me if you're watching the playback, message me, put it in the comments. It doesn't matter if you're watching it live. So that's my challenge to you. 5 Pamper bookings, hold 5 Pamper bookings in the next in this month, and 5 recruiting chats that you and I will do together. That's my challenge to you, and I can't wait to actually hear you message me and get back to me about that, and we'll do that.